Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating approach to student learning called GrowWise. It's all about a new path to success that focuses less on just the report card and way more on building a student's real, genuine confidence.
It all starts from a place of really deep understanding. This quote, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's that feeling so many of us know, whether we're parents or teachers, where you see a child struggling and you just desperately want to find the real reason why.
And that leads to this huge question. We always think the answer is more homework, more practice problems, more tutoring. But what if the key to unlocking their potential isn't about academics at all? What if it's something else entirely? Well, that brings us to the core idea behind GrowWise. It's this personalized philosophy that's all about going above and beyond what we typically think of as academic help. So what does that actually mean? Well, at its core, the philosophy is actually pretty simple. It's not just about what a student is learning, it's about how they learn best. The belief here is that if you can truly understand a child's unique learning style, that becomes the real foundation for success. It's a total shift from just treating a symptom, like a bad grade, to actually understanding and fixing the root cause.
Okay, so a great philosophy is one thing, right? But how does it actually work in the real world? How do you take this big idea and turn it into actual, tangible results for a student?
It all comes down to a really clear three-step method: identify, fill, and build. You can think of this as the practical engine that really drives this whole approach.
Now, what's so powerful about this is how simple and effective it is. First, you identify. This means figuring out not only how a child learns, but also finding any of those sneaky little foundational gaps that might be holding them back. Then, you fill those gaps with instruction that's super focused and full of encouragement. And finally, you build. This is where the skills and, just as importantly, the confidence really start to lock in.
And a huge part of that build phase uses a very specific tool: free timed practice sessions. Now, this is not just about doing more problems for the sake of it, it's about how you practice.
And this shows you the goal of those sessions perfectly. It's about so much more than just getting the right answer. Of course, timed practice builds up speed and accuracy. But look at that third bar, confidence. Why is that the biggest outcome? Because when a student can perform accurately under pressure, it proves to them in a way nothing else can that they've really truly mastered it. It takes them from "I think I get it" to "I know I've got this." And that's a powerful shift that builds self-belief that lasts.
This whole focus on building confidence leads us to what might be the most important outcome of the entire process: creating a student who is genuinely invested in their own success.
I mean, that is such a powerful statement. Just think about it for a second. When a student goes from feeling like learning is something that just happens to them to feeling like they are an active partner in their own growth, well, everything changes.
So let's just draw a really clear line here. Traditional tutoring, it's often focused on one thing: academic results. Get the grade up. The GrowWise approach sees it as a partnership, where the main goal is to get the student invested and to build their self-belief. The amazing grades, well, they become a natural result of that partnership, not the only thing you're chasing.
All right, so let's bring all this home and talk about the final takeaway from this really unique way of looking at learning. The difference, really, it all boils down to these four things. It's a system that actually takes the time to understand the individual student, to find and fix those early gaps, to intentionally build confidence right alongside skills, and maybe most importantly, to create a real partnership in learning. When you get right down to it, it's all about this. Instead of waiting for a small problem to turn into a big crisis, this is about giving the right kind of personalized, confidence-building support right from the very start.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. When you focus not just on the grades, but on how a child learns, on their confidence, and on getting them invested in their own journey, just imagine what kind of potential that could unlock.